Hello, Tim Allard here from Rapid DTM. Thank you for watching. This video is going to cover our PC-DMIS Import software. This is intended to bring your inspection results from your PC-DMIS program into a Microsoft Excel worksheet. So system requirements are that you must have Microsoft Excel installed on your computer, and it works for any version of PC-DMIS all the way from back to version 4.3 up to version 2018 R2, which is the current version that we're running as of the recording of this video. Okay, so I'm going to review all of the functions, what all of these buttons do for our existing users, and also for anyone who might be interested in adding this software to their company. So here we have import data and run and import. These two buttons essentially do the same thing, with the one exception in that the run and import button will execute your PC-DMIS program. So if you're running a series of parts, you don't have to keep bouncing over to PC-DMIS. You can run everything right from the spreadsheet. So when you click this run and import button, it's going to do the same thing as the execute button here inside of PC-DMIS. And the import data, which is the one we're going to use right now, that's to bring in data if you've already run your program, which we have in this case here. We're inside PC-DMIS. You can see we have measurement results already in here. So we're going to go ahead and bring that data into our Microsoft Excel spreadsheet here. So you can see we have 517 lines of code. The software runs pretty quickly, processing all of that data, bringing in our dimension names, our nominal dimensions, and our tolerance, and the column for each of our parts that we're running here, and what those results are for each dimension. So because we have use auto numbering checked, it automatically assigned this as part number 1. If you uncheck that, it will ask you what you want to call each part that you bring in. So if we bring in another part here, auto numbering is checked. We can see here that it's called that part number 2, and so on. And you can run as many parts on this spreadsheet as Microsoft Excel will allow in the number of columns that you can have on the spreadsheet, which is quite a few. It goes all the way out to IV, which is quite a few parts. I'm not sure what that number is. In any case, that's your import and your run and import buttons. Your clear last and clear all functions are to erase data from the spreadsheet. So clear last will clear the last part that you ran, which in this case would be part number 2. We can wipe that out, make that go away. Clear all will clear the entire contents of the spreadsheet and erase all of that data. So normally what we do when we open the spreadsheet up is we'll do a save as, name this something relevant to the inspection job that we're running. In this case here, we're going to call this video. And then bring our data in for part number 1. And that looks good. So the other thing we can do is we have some functions written here in formatting for shading the rows, clearing that shading, and showing any out of tolerance dimensions. And what that would do is any dimensions in your part or any part on the spreadsheet that is out of tolerance zone, I would highlight that that cell in red, and I'll show you that in just a second. So shading rows, If you have a lot of parts on here, a lot of columns, shading rows can make it a little bit easier to follow along the spreadsheet. If you don't like that, we can make that go away. And showing out of tolerance, if we have a dimension here we have a flatness. Our upper tolerance limit is 5 thou. If we make that, for example, 8 for that particular part, our show out of tolerance would highlight that cell as being out, and it'll do that for all of the parts on the spreadsheet. So the buttons that we have checked here, I have checked for do the out of tolerance function, which is this function here, after each run. Auto numbering I already talked about. As each part comes in, it will automatically assign that integer value and increment that by 1 each time you bring a part in. And auto save simply saves the spreadsheet each time you import or run an import some data in here. So that covers most of that functionality. If we clear this out, some of the other functions that we have going on here, for example, if I close my PC-DMIS program and open one up for a part, this part here ends with a key-in dimension. We are using this for checking some threaded holes on the part. So nominal and plus or minus tolerance is set to 0 and measure is set to 0 because those holes passed with the thread gauge. So when I bring that data in, this is a little bit bigger program. You can see we've got nearly 2,000 lines of code in PC-DMIS to read, and it still takes less than a minute to bring all of that data in to the spreadsheet. So the way we're handling that key-in dimension is when you have a plus or minus tolerance of 0, we're handling that as a pass or fail type of dimension. So when the spreadsheet is done, what we're going to do is when that out of tolerance function runs, it's going to show this as either a pass or fail. So if we go down to the end here, you can see we've got about 400 or so dimensions. So that one passes because that passed with the thread gauge. If I clear that out and I change this to 1, it would show this as being out of tolerance here in PC-DMIS. And when we bring that data in to our spreadsheet, when again this is set to use the out of tolerance function after each run, so it's gonna automatically click this button for us here, and I'll show you that key-in dimension will show up now as fail. So that's how we're handling pass or fail functions on here. I'm going to do another video after this one to show you a nice new function that we added for appending information to an existing part, and I'll show you that in the next video. So to wrap this one up, so we're done. We'll go down here to our last dimension, and you can see that shows up now as being a failed dimension because again it's a key-in with a plus or minus tolerance of 0. So that's in a nutshell how the software works. I hope this was informative for you. We've been using this for about 10 years now and have several other companies have started using this, so it's working out real well for us. Information on how to contact us you can see in the information for this video down underneath. So thanks again for watching, and I hope this helps. And again, I'm going to do another video here in just a second to show you how to append information into an existing part. That's it. Thank you very much.